Okay. Good afternoon, gents. I don't know what happened there. It seemed to flick straight from the risk disclaimer stream to the main one. Well, we're up and running anyway. So, morning all, or afternoon. Morning for most of you, I think. Hope everyone's doing well. It is Friday, the 16th of June. I've been looking at this, actually. I did have a quick look at this, but it was a first entry, so I left it alone, but didn't it rock it up? I thought we may have a bit of a down day today. I was watching Mac's video and we've had two perfect measured moves up. So I thought we may have a bit of a down day today, but it doesn't look like it, does it? So we got in there. Good morning, everyone. Wakey, wakey. Hands off, Snaky. How you doing, buddy? David, good morning. JP, how you doing? What? Afternoon, buddy. Ninth floor. He's bad, isn't he? Rodian, how you doing? How you doing? Nice start against Australia this morning. It was 150 something for 3, I think it is, something like that. So good start, actually. Let me just check. Excuse me a second. My apologies. They howl. I locked them out and they howl. They howl when you come home. They howl if they can't get in the room. So I apologise that. I thought I was murdering one of my dogs there. Okay, we got a possible second entry long there. Got to be careful. What time is it? Market's due to open in a minute. I'm not a fan of these ones. Let's have a look. Let's not be too hasty. That's just me missing a trade. Trouble is, if I have them in the room, we've got a spare room. If I have them in the spare room, they can jump on the spare bed and look out the window, and sometimes they'll bark. So when I hear them start bark, I kick them out the room, and then they start howling to get back in. Everyone's out the house at the moment, see, so if there was other people in the house, they were right downstairs, but they howl. Oof. Terrible. Okay, hurry up, no market. Come on before this sets up. Okay, don't like that anyway. It's not. I mean, it may work. It is a second entry long. I'm just not a massive fan that we got 2 back to back. Let's have a look. That went 2 points. Okay. So I've been caught out a couple of times getting into a trade. Wow, that pushed up strong. So you'd got your 2 points within a few seconds. So, well, it is a second entry long. And I suppose we may see a breakout here. Let's have a look. We may see that. We'll see. Okay, market's officially open. I'm just not a fan of that. It was below the midline, whether this is right or not. It seems to be right. And the trouble is sometimes I'll trigger and then come back to this side. So that's the frustrating bit. So okay, so there's some liquidity there. The liquidity's there. So 94 to 95, and there's some at 500 up here as well. So maybe we can get another setup back here. As I say, I had a feeling we may get some downward stuff today because it's been such positive and upwards. I looked at Mac's video. Hey SW Blaze, how you doing, buddy? I looked at Mac's video, and on the daily, we'd had literally one leg, another leg, and it literally hit that measured leg, so I did wonder whether we'd have some down stuff. Let's have a look, see what's going on here. Okay, first entry. Leg would be nice. Got a good feeling about today. Famous last words. Okay, liquidity levels 85.5, which is around about here. So, where'd that go? Where'd you go? There it is. So 85 to 86. Let's have a look. Yeah, there is some around 85.50, which is about actually right on that top line. Okay, second entry long there, too congested, may work, but I'm not a fan of that. I'd say if you took that, I'd be a bit worried now. Let's have a look. Let me just put that measured move there so I can get that rid of. Remove. Okay, sideways. Okay, yeah. If you took that one, you got stopped out. Leg. Tempting, but I'm leaving it alone. It's congested, and we're not quite back here yet. So, as tempting as that is, I think it's risky, and that's almost definitely going to stop someone out. One more tick. Oh, it's down anyway. Yeah, so there was a couple of traps there. Leg. I prefer to get to this. Leg. Let's have a look. Now, I think this may come a bit further over because I think it probably comes from here, the bottom of this channel, and I did wonder whether it's going to come out a bit. So I've got to be careful with these. I've taken these on the break, one leg down, second leg down, something like that, positive, and it's triggered me and come down and stopped me out. So I tend to, that's picked up that liquidity. There's some more down here, so I tend to wait for it to push up and then get a high low when we get back in. Because we've got a new high there. Tried to go once, tried to go twice. So there's a possible failed second entry long there. Now, I get it running it to the EMA, but I'm just a bit wary about this. Because it is early, although it does look, but it's not the best looking channel. It may be here, which means it might be slightly wider. Let's see what happens here. That the failed second entry long is triggered. Now, if it pushes up and gives us a higher low, then I'm in for going long there. But I'm not sure. It's a bit congested around here and a bit. It's not very clear. Speedy, how you doing, buddy? Channel is on fire, above 1,000 subs already. Yeah, I know. It's nice. It's nice to know people are interested to listen. Okay, so there's a first entry. So that triggered, but it's also a second entry short. So if that triggers, then I might be interested in going long. So let's have a good look at this. So there was a failed second entry long there, which triggered and got stopped out. Second entry short. No, it's not short material, that is it. Let me just check. There's nothing here as well. There is maybe a bit of a channel there. So it may break and come down. It's hard to say. As I say, I'm not convinced this channel's right, so I'm going to have to be a little bit careful here. Now, if this comes down, channel break, new low, or if it pushes up bullish, then I'd say it's going higher. Not bullish enough, I'm afraid. Okay, let me just readjust this, see if it fits to there. I don't know, is the answer. I don't know. I think it's safer to do it from there, there, and there. It's a bit unclear. Okay, so yeah, break. Chances are we're going to have a new low. So you've got to be careful here. 3-0 for me today. Good for you, mate. I will enjoy the stream risk-free. Good on you. Good on you, mate. That's what you want. Break afternoon, gents. I'm going to start a bit late today. We're back about 4:30. Good on you, mate. Good on you, mate. Okay, now 2 legs down there. So we've had a break of that and a new low. Now, are we going higher? I'd probably expect to. But as I did say, I am aware that there may be some downward stuff today. I hope there isn't, but there may be. So there's some liquidity levels around about 79 to 81, which is a bit below this and a bit above it. So I don't know how anybody else has got their channel. Let me see if I can get that as good as I can. Okay, so touches here, touches here, touches here, and touches at the back. So that's as good as I think I can get it at the moment. It may turn a bit wider. Let me try that again. Okay, if that turns there, then I'd say have a look. Normally you go off those first two swings, which is there and there. I'm just going to leave that there, just temporary. See what happens. Got to be careful with these, see? There'll be people going along there. You might have got away with that one, but if you're thinking you're going to hold to get up here, and you might take that higher low, so just... although people are thinking we're going up, there is a channel there. See, we've had a break in a new low, so you just got to be careful. So look at that. Just drawn that. We got touch, 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 touch. If that continues to push higher now, then I'm thinking we're going higher. It might do, it might not. Okay, that's just picked up that liquidity. So let's just see if that has a push. Not enough. So we got liquidity at 90. We've got liquidity at 95 and 500. So it's hard to say what's going on at the moment. It's a bit choppy. We have got some news at 3 o'clock. Let's not forget that. Please, somebody to remind me. Okay. Some at 72 as well down here, so I'll see. I know you can have some alerts with NinjaTrader. I've never looked into them. It'd be nice if you can get an alert that flashes on the screen when news is coming up, giving you like 5-minute warnings, you know, maybe 20, 30, maybe 30 minutes before, just a little warning or something. There's probably something. It'd be nice to have that, a little flashy warning light, because it is, you can forget sometimes, and if you do forget, it can smash through your stop if it's a big enough bar, and it can cripple you. And that does worry me. Okay, so comfortably had more than 2 legs. So let's get rid of that. Okay. So we've had this channel, we've had a break in a new low. We haven't had a break of this yet. So we haven't had a new high from here. So I'm thinking we're going long at the moment. But I'm aware this news is in 20 minutes. Channel break, new low, channel break. Gotta be careful of this. It's tempting to look for a low there, and it may well work, but at the moment, because of this, I don't really see anything significant in the way of a new high. I don't think anything's broken before. Let's remove that. So okay, so we're yeah, too low to take, that is. No. Open. Channel break, new low. Channel break. Almost. Let's have a look. Liquidity 76 to 72. So there's liquidity around about here. buy orders or people taking profits. Sajid, good morning. How do you know there is news today? I've got it on my chart up here, 1500 UK time, prelim. Is it UOM? I don't even know what it is, to be fair. I just know it's on my chart. News indicator, yeah, up here. This is part of Max. Get a new one every day. I just have high and medium impact news, mainly US news that really affects this. Okay, so we push down, try to go higher once, try to go higher. See, I think the Penguin guy goes short here, depending. He'll go channel down, try to go higher once, try to go twice, fail, come down. We did that the other day. I see this possible bottoming out. It's hard to know what's going on at the moment. There is strong liquidity levels at 77 area, and there's some at 84 and rising. Let's have a look. 77, about here. New low, try to go once, try to go twice. Trouble is, this could just possibly be a range, which, if it is, it doesn't necessarily have to have a break and a new high. If it goes high enough and it is generally ranging, then people are shorted up here and it won't necessarily make a new high. Still may do it, still might not be a range day, but it's looking rangy to me. Okay, that was yesterday's high. I'm going to get rid of that now. We know where it was. Okay, so as I mentioned, we're either ranging or there's a little bit of push before we have a load of downwards. Down, up, down. 70 to 73 liquidity. $70 to $73, around about there. $70 to $73. Let's see if we get anywhere near there. That could be a channel, actually. Just why we've touched there, we've touched there, we've touched there, we've touched once, twice. It's possible. Hey Tyler, how you doing? Oh, took that short for my 2 points. Good on you, mate. You went that one there, did you? Yeah, it was. If it had broke higher, then I may have been interested in taking that. But that Penguin guy, I'm pretty sure would take it. It just finished a tick below there, and that just makes me a little nervous. I prefer to break up a little bit and then come down. So 1, 2, 3. We're bouncing off this line. See if this holds. But there is some buy in here. So that would make sense, wouldn't it? Bottom of the channel. See what happens. $72, $70. Okay, next level is here. Fact. No, I'm not a fan of that. No, nor that. Nor that. Okay, let's just give it leg, break. Leg, couple of attempts to go higher and then down. Okay, we've picked off that liquidity level. There is some at about 52 down here. Way down there, is that right? 52. The next lot's 67, which is around about just below the open. This is probably a bit better. Okay, so we've had a channel down here, we've had a break, and we've clearly had a new low, so we've got another channel. If we can get a break, there is some liquidity levels here, so that would interest me. There's also some selling at 73, which is here. 74, 75 area. So if we get a couple of legs up here, then that would interest me then. I'm not sure if this is a channel or not. It's not a very neat one, so I'm probably going to go with the shorter term stuff. We haven't bounced off the overnight, where's the overnight highs, sort of, you would call them here, wouldn't you? No, I'd still say that's got further to come. 67, let's have a look. I want this at 67, and it is beautiful. Okay. Okay, lump of liquidity at 67 and 68. In fact, let's put it at 68, which is about there, which is just below the lows, and they're buy orders. 67.5. Let's get that right. 67.5. Right, let me have a look. It's actually 68.5. Let's put it there. So if I do get a short, I want to be out before that, really, which is about a new low. Give us a good entry. Come on. First entry. Come on, give us a good trade nice and early. Come on, push up, you bastard. Rhodian, those two channels are almost perfect. Morning, Groll Daddy. How you doing, mate? Two channels. Yeah. Come on, get up a bit more. It's just, yeah, I'm not a massive fan of sometimes if you squeeze them a bit. It just doesn't look right to me, that. Sometimes your best channel, you're best off break them down a bit smaller. Okay, so there's a first entry. Okay, now I'm going to get an order just in case.
Order submitted.
Okay. Let's have a look. Right, okay. Forget that.
Order cancelled.
I just noticed some of this liquidity is dying a bit. There is some news, isn't there? That's too
Order
good to
submitted.
turn down. We're still 10 minutes away. Let's see how that finishes. It's probably okay, but I'm going to leave it. See if we can get a lower high. Do you know what? I'm leaving
Order
it a minute.
cancelled.
The news is 10 minutes away. I do not want to get stuck in a trade here. To be fair, it's not bearish enough for me, really. I'd want it bearish. Let me see if there's a bigger one. Just not a fan of the bar, really. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. It's just too close to the news for comfort, that. So we've had a leg, 2 pushes up, and another leg. Let's see how that looks. Measured move. Okay, so that's more or less played out anyway, so it's too dangerous, that is. Leg, 2 pushes up, 2 pushes down to a new. So if you took that one, you may be okay. You may be okay. I still see some more downward stuff. Leg break, leg. It's bearish, but not that bearish. And the fact that it's pushed up a bit and stalled a couple of times, we'll see. It's just not up. I'm not a fan of it. I don't like the 2 dojis. And if that pushed down below there, nice and bearish, then I may be interested in that. But it's too close to the news, really, because you could go sideways and you may get stuck. So much better. Yeah, you'd have got stopped out anyway. So I left it for all the right reasons. Just didn't like this, and the bar was just no. Good decision. Let's see if it would have stopped you out for a tick, which happens in a lot of cases. Too close to the news anyway, in all fairness. Okay, 1 tick. You'd have been there, so you'd have still been okay at the moment. Let's see, but that's a little channel of its own, that is. We'll see what happens if this does come rocketing down. I wouldn't be shocked. It is a second entry short. It is at the key entry point. I don't like these 2 dojis, although it's clearly a second entry. But look at that. It would have stopped. So you'd have been 1 tick. Let me have a look. Is that 1 tick or 2 ticks above there? So let's get it to the bar. So it's 2 ticks. So that would have just touched your... Yeah, if you'd have had it 1 ticket to take you out, 2 ticks, it would have hit it. It doesn't have to push it through if it hits a stop. But yeah, it's just there's something I don't like about that. And it doesn't look like a great channel to me, which tells me it's probably just a small channel. Couple of attempts to go higher and 2 legs down, and it's finished basically. But there is still some liquidity down here. And I think it's quite possible to hit it, but yeah, the bar was naff. I mean, you may have taken that one. Clearly 2 attempts to go higher, but the news is coming up and it's slowing a bit and getting a little bit sideways, a little bit doji. Sometimes it's hard to put your finger on why you're turning a trade down, but I like to think that something's happened in the past, or I've noticed that pattern is in my head somewhere and I've got taken out and it just looks a bit dodgy and I left it and it was a good decision. So I slammed that somewhat. Yeah, win. So if I do decide to leave it for a reason, then it's a nice feeling because it tells me just doesn't look right, that one. That's a better bar. If that was more bearish, then it may drag a lot more shorts in and that would obviously push it down. But I did say I wouldn't be shocked if that comes down because of this liquidity. But I'm not a fan of that. It doesn't look like the best. Yeah, it looks a bit messy, which tells me it's more likely sort of individual ones here. We've come back to this, we've broken out, we've tried to go high and we've had a leg down and a break, another leg. So there may be a channel there. It may look a bit better on someone else's chart. Sometimes they do, but so we've had this little channel, we've had a break. It's just too close to the news. We're 5 minutes away. News, it's yeah, I'll show you. It's up here. If you have Max system, you get this and it just updates the news every day and it tells you what we got, and you can set it. I'll show you what it is. Where's me? I don't know why they pop onto another screen. It's this one, that one there, and you can update things. There's all sorts of stuff on there, but you can have country filter. You can have other countries. Obviously, if you trade in, UK or European, you can obviously change the countries there. You can do all sorts of stuff in there as well, change all the colours, medium impact, low impact, whatever you want, and that comes as part of Max. So does that, so does the toolbar. There's a bunch of stuff. So even just to get these things, I mean, really, if you miss some news and we have a quick move, it can take your stop out and you can lose a bit of money. So for the sake of $125 a year, even if you don't use anything else, it's worth it, in my opinion. You know, there are various news channels and that you can look at, but I always like to have something just to remind me. Let me see if this is making better sense. But we are at the news. We're a few minutes away, 3 minutes away from the news. So it's best stay out. And I've really been stuffed with the news before. I don't know. It's a bit jittery, isn't it? I'm not a fan of it. I had a stop once, and I think my stop was at 2 points. And it shot through my stop that quick, it actually took me out for 5 points. So if you've got 10 accounts and you're trading a couple of contracts and you miss the news, you know, 5 points, potentially $500 from 2 counts times 10, $5,000. It's costly. So it's good, I think, if you can get something like on your screen. But you get that with it, you get that, you get a bunch of other things. And, you know, I like to still be a member of Max. I did it for a year, then I had a 6-month break, and then I decided to go back to basics. It's always good to go over the basics. You know, when you learn in your own time, sometimes you miss a few things, and, you know, you have little gaps in your knowledge. That I know some other people mention something, and I'm thinking, that doesn't ring a bell to me. And then when I go over with Mac again, you pick up a few more things, so it's always good to go back to the basics. 0 for 4, got to stop revenge trading, yeah. You know, my honest opinion, if you lose 2 trades in any one trading session, quit. 1, have a chance to come back, but if you lose 2, it's going to play on your head. Trust me, it will. I lost 2 on a day last week, and I walked away and managed to get away, and I managed to stay out. But the pull and that urge to come back later was strong. But 2, you lose 2, it's not a problem. But if you've lost 2, it's having a mental effect on you, I guarantee it, and you will be taking poorer quality trades. So the best option is to walk away. Overnight, you'll clear your mind, you'll come back fresh. 2 losses is nothing. But if you do carry on and it messes with your head, that 2 can turn into 3 and 4, followed by some revenge trading and blown accounts. I know because I've done it many times. 8-day winning. Yeah, I had an 18-day winning streak in January. I had green days anywhere from $2,000 to $1,300 in one account during January. And then I had 3 losing days in a row. Unfortunately, there weren't high ones. They were around about $300 each per day. But the longer you go with a green day, the more frustrating a green day, the more frustrating a red day can be. So I'm sitting tight now. This news is about to hit in about 10 seconds. So sometimes you won't even notice it's happened. Other times it'll have a quick up and little down spikes like it's doing now, and then bum bum, it'll go off in one direction. There we go. Okay, nothing major, I don't think. Usually the first few bars are telling. Going back a few months ago, we had a 55-point green bar. Huge. I'd just call it day. I would, Dave. It's good practice to get into it. Now, I'll tell you a little story. I got my first, well, not my first pay, my first paying up to, my first paying account up to $7,700. I took out $2,000 and I thought, that's it, I've cracked it. I'm on my way. And I came in and I shorted the top of a range. Not a very good short, but I lost it. It went up a bit further, left another bearish bar, and I thought, it's broke out, let's short it. So I shorted it again and stopped me out again. So I'd lost about $500 in the first 3 minutes. And what I should have done is walked away then, but I carried on and I ended up losing $2,300 of my PA account in one day. Now that has a massive effect on you. Okay, there's a failure there, but it's still a bit too close for the news. But I would expect that to make a couple of points, but you just don't know, do you? So we've had this channel, we've had a breakdown, try to go once, try to go twice, but That's a bit too close. So that crippled me. The following day, I lost another $1,700. So you could clearly see that was the after effects, and I just never recovered. I ended up blowing the account in the end. So someone told me never lose more in a day that you can't make in another day. Losing a week's worth of profit can really mess with your head, and if you've not been doing it a long time and you're not used to dealing with it, it can cripple your account. So I would say best practice, and it can be tough to walk away, with that urge to get it back. But if you're ever going to succeed at this, trust me, you have to. And if you can get those early practices in now, then they'll be easier. It's something I've really struggled with. But recently, over the last sort of couple of weeks, I haven't gone back and traded. Because if you go back to try and get your lost money, I guarantee you're not going to be sitting calmly and waiting for good trades. You're going to take poor quality trades and you're going to screw up. You're either going to get lucky, which might happen twice in 10, but chances are you're going to end up losing. And if you end up losing more than that, you'll keep on going until you've either got lucky or your account's blown. So trust me, take my word for it. Anytime, mate, anytime. It's the only way you're going to succeed. So get into that practice now, and it's a good, that'll get you in good stead. That will. Learn from me. No. Okay, so there's that failure there, which is triggered. It did come back a bit, but I'd say that's likely to make you 2 points. Well, it will have done. But trouble is, it's a bit choppy there, and but we did break down. Had a strong push up there. Leg and a leg. Okay. So news didn't do a lot really. A little bit of a spike and a little bit of choppy backwards and forwards, but that's about it, I think. Exactly right, Wood. Exactly right. If you have a losing trade, the chance of you having another losing trade after goes up dramatically. You have to be really calm and really smart to get a winning trade after. And if you do that and get a winning trade, that'll lift your spirits. But after a loss, you've got to be really, really careful. Just be extra cautious. One loss is nothing, but what you do next can affect how things go from there. A second loss, well, that does double the amount of damage, and that's when you need to walk away. But if you have a loss, not a problem. It's one trade, that's it. Sit there patiently until you find another one. You could nothing else, because as I say, you can tell how it affects you psychologically, because your chance of having another loss after one climbs up dramatically. So good point that one, yeah. I see Penguin do it, but don't ever try it. Just leads to pain and suffering, yeah. And if you lose 2 in a row, honestly, walk away. There's no serious harm done at all there. It's just a tiny glitch, that is. But yeah, I forget who it was told me, never lose more in one day that you can't make in the next. And that's fine. But once you start losing 3 and 4 and 5, you're on a downward spiral. It's like a helter-skelter. It's just downhill. And you can't stop yourself. And trust me, I have done it dozens and dozens and dozens of times. I'm a bloody champion at it. So yeah, you won't succeed if you do that. You have to walk away. You know, it doesn't matter how good a trade you are, or how much money you make, or how long you've been doing it for. You have to have rules for a set amount of losses in a trading session. Very few people could take 2, 3, 4 losses and carry on that day. You got to walk away. Something's not right. Either the market conditions are tough, you're not mentally in the game. So best thing to do. And I've had so many comments over the past 6 months saying, walk away, mate, live to trade another day. And as soon as I shut the stream down, what do? Jump back on and start trading. And I'd say twice in 10, I get my money back, but the other 8 times I lose it. And not only do I lose it, but I end up blowing the account. So yeah, try and do the opposite from what I did. Watch Friday, careful with the chop. Yeah, absolutely. You just can't, you just got to leave all this, wait till you see this type of thing, you know, or this type of thing. But with all this tight stuff up and down, you just, it's not, you can't even look for a trade. I mean, you could say, you know, you could say there may be a lower high or something, but it's choppy like this, and the rules go out the window. It's 50-50, it can go up or down. And I've learned, and I'm learning. It never, you know, you're always working and you're always improving. You've always got to keep on top of your game. Always, you know, think about the basics. Anytime it goes choppy or unpredictable, leave it alone. If you're not sure what's going on, leave it alone. Wait for it to be more clear. Because a lot of times it does all this, you know, when this happened and I'm thinking, this makes no sense. You can't trade it. You know, a lot of people might think, here we go, let's wait for a nice bullish bar. That one there, look at that. I mean, we're in the channel. We had a push down, we had a break, and we had another push down. We had a nice bullish bar. Look at that. Beautiful bullish bar. Finish just above the EMA. You think that's going to go up. What happens? It goes up 2 sticks, comes down and stops you out, and then breaks. So it's hard to know, but if you're not sure what's going on, best thing is just to leave it alone. Only trade when you know what's going on. Now that was a nice second entry long. My issue with that is it was a little bit above the EMA and it could come back to here. And there was just something about it I didn't like, but it worked. You know, sometimes it does. But okay, so we look what we got a bit of a it's just choppy city. This, it's not making any sense, is it? You know, if you think lower high, let's take that one. Comes down what, a point and a bit. Goes up, stops you out. Yeah, I forget who it was. Somebody mentioned whenever there's setup after setup in a small congested area, leave it alone, because it's just trap after trap. And be prepared to walk away at the end of the day without a trade. If you do that, if there's not been a setup or not a decent enough setup and you can walk away, I consider that a success. Because there's so many different elements to trading. It's not about taking good trades. You know, it's about if there's nothing. You could take the best trades. You know, you could be great at spotting trades. But if there's no trades in a day, you've also got to be prepared to walk away, because you can't force trade. One thing I've learned about the markets, you can't make them do what you want to do. You just have to go with them and wait for them to give you something. You can't force them, you can't squeeze them, and you can't manipulate them. And if you do that and take poor quality trades, they'll shit all over you. Rhythmic working normal for me, is it? Well, that's good news. Hi everyone. Someone have problems with rhythmic. So far, that's another thing I like about trading a live stream. If something goes wrong, at least I've got video evidence. Okay. Let's have a look. Liquidity levels 83. There's some right where we are now. Let's get rid of that now. 85, there's some there. So this could be a leg and a leg, and then down more. It's hard to say, it's not very clear at the moment. There's some at 71 down here, which is about there. And there's a lump around about 51, which is way down there. So uh, 83, 85. 75, 76, there's somewhere in there. Strong buying at 75. A lump at 71. Just about there. It's hard to know what's going on here. We could have a leg and a leg and okay, that's a little bit of a range. Touch, 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 touch. Okay, let's have a look at these liquidity levels. Looks like a leg, possibly a leg. I still think there may be some down stuff today. Just looking at the daily, there's a big measured move that's played out on the daily. So I won't be shocked if there's some downward stuff. I don't know. I might be wrong. It might be going up. There is a second entry long there. Dangerous place to take it. Just there. Much better to wait for it to push down there. Let's have a look. Still there at 75. Strong. So if it pushes down past there and reverses, then that might be a place to go long. I'm not a fan of these ranges, I've got to say. I always get really nervous when I trade the bottoms of these, or tops of them. There's still some at 71. So let's have a look. Once, twice, three times. Trouble is, in all honesty, I don't know whether we're going up or down at the moment. I'm not sure what direction we're moving in. I mean, if we're in a range, then I'd expect to come down towards the bottom of the range. But I'm a bit unsure at the moment, so if you're unsure, best option is to stay out of the game. Sit and watch. Yeah, there's some big buy-in at 71 and a quarter, which is just below there. Interesting that's pushed up, but I don't like the fact that it's something about it I don't like. picked up a load of those buy orders at 75. That's why it pushed up strong. Still strong at 71 and a quarter, which is about there. So it's been a green week for me. Green days. 2 days we got nothing. First 2 days no trades. Yesterday one winner. Day before one winner. So hopefully it's nice when you get all green days. Well, no losses in a week. And if you're playing the game right and you've been trading a while, you can go for a long time without losses. If you're careful. Okay, so it clearly looks like a bit of sideways. We've had a little bit of a break at the top, a little bit of a break at the bottom. We've had a push up, but it's risky and dangerous taking trades in the middle because it might go up a bit and come down. It's choppy and unpredictable. I've given up even trying to entertain these. If we get 3 pushes down and a perfect bull bar with the big break and a reversal, and I know we're going up, then I might trade it, but I don't know what the hell's going on here. We're right in the middle of it. What are we in a range, or we've had a couple of legs down? It could be this channel with a couple of legs of correction, push up, a little bit of sideways, and then we might continue up higher, and it could end up at one leg and another leg, but it's just unpredictable, and it's hard to. So it could do a lot of things, and that's the problem. They're hard to trade, so we could end up doing something like that. It's still going up in a fashion, isn't it? But it's not clear enough, and while it's not clear, always best off just stay out. You can't play this game. Maybe people like Matt could scalp for a point in areas like this, but the safest bet is to stay out. And Mac will tell you that. He'll look at this and he'll say probably in his video, you just can't trade this, just stay out of it, you'll get chopped up. That's one of his favourite sayings. ATR is higher than normal. It tends to sit around the 175 quite a lot nowadays, and it's about 1 point higher than it usually is. Now it's good for profit, but I mean really an average size bar with a tick above and tick below would be over a 3-point risk. Doesn't Mac? Oh, Mac does. Yeah, he does. Yeah, absolutely. And I'd advise you, if you don't know much about Mac, then watch some of his videos. I'll just drag it in. And he puts a bar by bar at the end of every day, Monday to Thursday. So I'll find it for you quickly. Where is it? But he's been putting, can't find it now. He's been putting videos on there. There it is. For about 13 years. There he is. That's it, yeah, 2,300 videos. Going back 13 years, I think. So, yeah, if you want to know a bit about Matt, watch some of those videos. And then if you want to join his YouTube, I'm thinking of his website. It's a measly $125 a year. It's peanuts, that is, for the value you get. Great value. Lovely guy. Genuine guy. you don't find a lot of genuine people around here sometimes. I don't find, well, not around here, I mean, but, you know, in life sometimes. But he's just a nice guy. He always, you know, I've messaged him over the last couple of years and he's always returned my messages. He's always nice and polite. And he's calm, and, you know, he's been doing it a lot of years. And someone who charges you 120, I mean, I started 2 years ago. It hasn't gone up in 2 years. You just can't buy courses for that much. You really can't. Not with someone who's had 20 odd years experience. You really follow me? Yeah. He is good, Mac. He's a lovely bloke. Okay, so you may have took that one. No, you wouldn't have done it. What am I saying? Okay, so there is liquidity up here at 90. Funnily enough, it's where the official open is. He works in a different way. Yeah, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. So many different strategies and methods out there, different time frames. There's so many different ways to trade. Thousands of them, different ways. Everyone's got their own way, their own style. One isn't necessarily better than another. At the end of the day, if you make money out of it, it's a good strategy. But I thought having a strategy, understanding how to take the trades, once you understand that, it was easy. But the difficult part is applying your strategy to the right context of the market, and that's the bit that takes the experience. You can teach someone out what a second entry looks like and what a failure looks like in 20 minutes. Applying it to the right context is everything. You know, I thought, I know what a second entry is now. Brilliant. All I've got to do is take them. But so many times you get trapped and caught offside. Okay, so there's some liquidity at 85. There's some at 90. So I'd say, judging by this, we're quite likely going to go up some more. But who knows? It could just do a bit of sideways for a bit longer. Okay, I'm just going to take a quick few-minute break. I'm going to get myself a cold drink. Market's just too choppy at the moment, so I will be back in 5 minutes. Okay. Yeah, I missed nothing. I don't know if that's right or nothing, but it's clearly just shopping anyway. Yeah, see, you might go triangle once, triangle twice, failure. Push up, sideways, push up. Trouble is, those are the trays that you can get stuck on. I mean, it might have triggered you and come down a bit more and gone up, but it's worked in that case. 71 is still strong, 90 is strong. So, see, I mentioned about that channel. It looks like we've broken out of it. We've had a two-legged correction, and we're now slowly working higher. It does look like we may end up pushing higher. Let's have a look at that. Okay, that kind of works actually. Touch, 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 touch. I'm not a massive fan of that little bit of a range. I think it's certainly going sideways, but so yeah, I expect now to get a new high. So thinking about it, that failure might not have been a bad trade. Trouble is, it's still a bit sideways. You just don't know. We had that push up, didn't we? Sideways push up again. But yeah, this does look like a channel with two legs of correction and then working back up. Obviously, a little bit of sideways. That was around the news, so that might cause a little bit of a. But the top of the line, I can see at the moment, liquidity-wise, there is some at 500, and that might increase as people maybe move up stocks. But there's some strong liquidity around there, so I certainly expect it to get to that level, and then some at 500, which is up here. So that's where I expect it to get. The lowest I can see is 71. There is some right down here at 50, but I don't know whether we're going to get there or not. We might do. Who knows? That's the thing. Sometimes you never quite know what might happen. But for me, we've had this channel and then a couple of legs of correction. And I mean, you might call it a range, but the trouble is it's only touched once and twice. Once at the top, once at the bottom. So, you know, there's an element of sideways, but to me it looks like a channel with two legs of correction and then some more upwards movement. Okay, so that's played out. Yeah, see. So there's some buying around here, which is a good thing. Around about 77, I think. Let me just copy that. Around about 77, which is about there, I think. Okay, so there's some quite strong buy orders there. So if you think this is going up and you're gonna push up, then that will be the area where you lightly buy. Well, certainly would probably the safest place to buy, right at the bottom of the channel. It is a little choppy, but it is, in my opinion, still grinding up. We've had a little bit of sideways, a bit of chop. We've had a breakout and a couple of legs back, and now we're pushing up quite nice. But there's the first entry. Now let's have a look at this. There is a second entry long there, but one, it's an inside bar, and two, I'm not a fan of taking these because a lot of the time it'll trigger you and then work back to this side and then rock it up because I'm aware of that liquidity. It's strong there. What is it? Yeah, around about 77 to... they're risky, them. It's not going to fall right anyway, I don't think. It's an inside bar. they're super risky, they are, especially that close to the top of this. That's asking to be triggered and then stopped out. Might work, it might push straight up, but it's just too risky trade, that is. So 80.81 now, the liquidity is. So it's around about here, so if we can get back here, that might drop a bit. Still strong at 71. Around about 80 to 81. So let's leave that about there. See, this is to me, it's one leg up, break another leg up, so I'd expect it to come down a bit now. There's a stink load of orders down here. Now they're obviously not going to be buy orders, they'll be take profits, I think. So whether somebody sold up here, thinking, you know, it's time to come down, somebody thinks there is. There's 463 orders down there. 52, just under 52, so around about right down that bottom corner there. So yeah, if you did take that one, I think you're going to get stuffed. You may get away with it if it comes back in, pushes up. But this is just choppy. Let's have a look. 77 to 78. There's some as well. Let's have a look. There's some at 81. And there's some at 80. Let's put it around this area. Yeah, so if you did take that long there, you got stopped out. I don't see why you would, but trouble is, I suppose inexperience will go second entry long. That'll have been trades I'd have taken. Leg. Okay, let's see what happens at this bottom here. The liquidity is strong. 77. Let me have a look. Yeah, there's quite a few around the 77 to 80 mark. That's not to say it'll get down there, but it's still a little bit choppy around here, so you've got to be careful. It does look like, I mean, it's clearly making higher highs. It just makes stuff like that a little bit risky. As nice and bullish as it's looking, oh, it's so tempting, isn't it? Trouble is, it is a possibility that a lot of people might be looking at this as some sideways stuff. in which case maybe a fail breakout and in. I don't think it is. I think it's going to go up. But whether it'll do it there or not, I don't know. Liquidity is strong at 77.5, which is there. And 71, which is down here. So it's so hard to know what to do. I wouldn't like to be in that trade now. Nothing worse than seeing that when you're in a trade. I mean, it might trigger below it, trap some shorts and push up, but there's nothing worse. Your heart sinks, doesn't it, when you see that? You take a trade all full of expectations, but it may trigger that. As I say, there's sort of a failure there, or you call that lower high if you recount them. It may trigger and push up and trap that short. And you would think it should do, really, because we're going up. But, as I say, there's such a lot of sideways and a lot of chop. The rules go out the window a bit. Just because it's a good setup when it's choppy, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work. If that finishes bullish, you may get away with it. It came down and matched in low, so you may get away with that. If we can get a failure, push up there and a failure and trap some shorts, then that might be an option to go higher. So at the moment, that's a doji, so it could go up, could go down. So at the moment, there's probably some longs in there and some shorts. And I'd say the longs have just got stopped out. Now, is it going to go up and take out the shorts? I think if you're going to go short there, I don't know why you'd short there, to be honest with you. It's just too risky, to be honest with you. But it might work. I mean, although it's choppy, market has certainly got an upward bias. That's a fact. Okay, 77 odd. So, okay, that's just picking up some. $76 to $75. There's some liquidity here somewhere. See what happens here. Yeah, it's just so choppy, innit? It's hard to know what to do. Okay, that's picked up all that liquidity there. Let's get him out of the way. Strong at 71. Still strong at 71. That's a trade that I've taken before. stopped out of them so many times. I've given up picking bottoms. I suppose you could say it's a triple test. I don't know. I'm not a fan of it. It's just congested, dangerous. It might work, but I just know how strong that liquidity is down there. But if enough people think it's worth buying, it doesn't really matter about those too much. Well, that becomes just a part of it then. Very strong down there. But if enough buyers jump in and start buying, it'll go up. This could be a bear flag. We may get some more push down here. I thought it was working its way up, but I think it's going to come down a bit more, personally. Push down, a little bit of sideways and a push down again. It's very strong. There's a lot of orders around the 71 and a quarter to 70. So this area here. So I think a little bit of sideways and then another quick drop. You may think break out of this and push back in, but I don't. It's almost looking like this, isn't it, in a way? Channel. And then down. Trying to go a couple of times and down again. It's gone so choppy. I'm just trying to make out what I think's going on. So we had this push up, we had a break, a couple of legs of correction, trying to go up again. Could be a leg. A couple of legs and another leg. It's hard to say, really. Maybe it could end up being something like that later in the day. It continues to work down, I don't know. I just had this feeling, judging by looking at the daily, that we've had two strong push-ups, a perfect measured leg right to the nearest tick. So I thought there's a chance we could get some strong downward stuff today. But it's still a bit too early. Okay, we pushed down there like I thought and hit that liquidity. There's still some more there now, but below 70, so about here. So whether we'll come down some more or not, who knows. Yeah, below 70, 44.70 is the strongest. And there's some below there. So if you got anything from Mac yet? Yeah, I still think we're going to come down a bit more. It's very strong around here. We'll see. $16th, yes. Good. Okay, pretty much how I've got it, really. That's it. He's got that channel up there, starting from there. Yeah, he did that because I messed around with that channel, but he put it as a break. So he's got this channel starting from there to there. Yeah, everything's the same. So starting from there to there. Okay. Yeah, because I messed around quite a while with the channel there, and I just couldn't figure out how to make it fit. So what he's done is he's gone like that, I think. Yeah, he's got it like that. Still, some channels are just difficult to draw, but it didn't really make much sense, to be fair to me, so I left it alone. So, yeah, let's just do that from that very top one, say. Touch in there. In fact, he's got it tighter than that. He's got it about there. And missing there. Yeah, it's just... He's gone with those first two swings, which I suppose is supposed to be the proper way of doing it, isn't it? And a break there. Another break. Yeah. What are we going in on here? I still think we're coming down. Trouble is, the only reason I'm thinking that is because these liquidity levels. So without that, I wouldn't have a clue. But just from the chart, I haven't got a clue whether we're going up or down. It's hard to know. We've had a leg break. We could have another leg. In fact, that would make sense. We could have a leg followed by another leg, which would take us down to the bottom. There's a lump of liquidity. Still there, is it or not? Let's start at 52 right down here. So, or did I just move that? Let me have a look. 71 and a quarter. There's a chunk at 71 and a quarter, which is moved back up, which is there. Some more buy-in. So yeah, from 70 to 70. So it's around about here. In fact, probably easier to put that there. So from 70 to 72. So about there. Yeah, anywhere in there. 78, there's some selling. So they're selling up here and buying down here. So that would tell me, I'd say there's fact, it's kind of a lower. Trouble is, there's a failed second entry short there, which is triggered. So we're going up, back into here. That would make sense, although it's very choppy. So you might come down. So there may be a double trap there. I ain't getting involved in that because, in my opinion, it's still... It could go either way there. The failure might... Okay, so there's a bearish bar which is closed below. Now, it's not the most bearish one in the world, but trouble is it could... If that triggers, you've got trapped longs there and trapped shorts there. So, I mean, we got a channel here, although it's a messy channel. I've got it. Matt's got it. And we've had a break of it. You would think about a new high, but who knows? I haven't got a clue. Not making any sense to me. So the failure would have given you not quite 2 points. Okay, so you may have got a point out of that. It's hard to know. It's just so choppy. But that's fine as long as you can identify it and you can identify when it's choppy. It's not a problem. You just stay out of it. It's not really any harm. One thing I tend to forget sometimes, it's up to me if I trade. I don't have to trade. I could just sit here quite happily. No harm, no stress. You know, sometimes it might be a good... In fact, in the past, I actually haven't traded. I've just sat and watched the market. And, you know, just to relax a bit. You know, sometimes they get that stress, and I've done it myself. And you know, someone said to me, "You're in control. You don't need to trade. You could just sit and watch." So it's important to remember that. Sometimes you feel obliged, you have to do something, but you don't. Okay, so that fairly worked. Just made me nervous with that liquidity level and it closing under the EMA just slightly. Yeah, I'm just not sure. Well, it could be a leg, then another leg, and down some more, but I don't know what's going on. 71 and a quarter. There's still some strong liquidity down here. 1 and a quarter. From 70 to say 71 and a half, maybe about there. So leg, and then down. Who knows? I don't know. This is a little bit of chop. This could be a bit of sideways, a break out of it, and then push through the bottom of it. It's hard to say. I mean, Matt's got that as a channel. I've got it as a channel, but it's not the best looking channel in the world, but it's clearly touching the bottom. And we've had a break out of it, so you'd expect to make a new high, but we did here, and we didn't. So... Anybody take that fairly, did they? Can anybody comment? I just noticed comments have stopped, that's all. Can anybody still comment? You might just be busy just watching. Sajid was the last one about 15 minutes ago. Just put someone click something if you can. Stream Health says it's okay. Just might be busy. Yes, excellent. That'll do. That'll do. Dr. Lenny, nicely done. I was thinking of a new low. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on at the moment. Hopefully, things will sort themselves out. Hello, Timothy. Hello to you. Okay, that measured move is played out. Leg. You're here, are you? Yeah, there's not a lot to talk about really, apart from it's choppy. When you said that, that's it. Conversation over. Yeah, there's not much you can do. It happens from time to time, doesn't it? We get plenty of days like this, don't we? So there's a leg up. Now we're moving up after this channel. You'd think so, but who knows? Failed second entry short. There was one there for sure, wasn't there? I looked at it. Trouble is, there's a lot of liquidity down here, so I'm just not sure about it. And it just closed just underneath the EMA. Now, does that mean anything? It just means it's a little bit more riskier, really. It doesn't mean it's not going to go up. But see, although this is a channel, it's also very sidewaysy as well, so people might judge it slightly different. Could be a leg down, a couple of legs of correction, and another leg down. That's why I drawn that bigger measured leg. So we've had this channel up anyway, and we've had a break out of it, and you'd expect to make a new high. We've had this little channel, we've had a break, you'd expect to make a new high. So who knows? There's still very strong liquidity down there, which is making me a bit nervous about going along at the moment. Okay, so touch, touch, touch. That's a possibility. Touch a few times. So there is a possibility that there's another channel here. That is not a brilliant channel, but it might just sort of be a couple of legs. Let's have a look. Maybe let's put it there. Down. I don't know. It's hard to know where you put it from. Okay, maybe put it from there. I don't know. It's a bit hard, this, but if it is, it's played out. So up, down, up, down. Is it as simple as we've gone up, then down, then up, then down? So what are we due to go down? Is it as simple as that? I wish it was. I wish it was just as simple as counting ups and downs. You haven't taken any trades yet. No, me neither. That's not a bad thing. In my opinion, there hasn't really been any. Nothing which I would call half decent. After this little channel down, couple of attempts to go higher. I'll be surprised if the Penguin guy doesn't, but to me, if that ticked above there and came down bearishly, then I may be more interested in that, but I don't like it hasn't even levelled it, and they're just making it a bit more risky. It's not to say it's not going down, but we could have had a leg and another leg, so it might come up, retest these bottoms, and then push up again. There's the midline there, see, so you just don't know. I want something to jump out at me. Looking for an entry towards the downside. Yeah, I'm starting to think down as well. Hence that. Well, if you look at that, you generally go from those first two swings. So push up there, come down, push up there. The bottoms fit in quite nice. I wouldn't put money in it yet, but okay, so there's a lower high there. I think that's risky. It's a bit congested. I prefer it to push up for the EMA, and it's still a bit sideways, so although the one good thing I've got for it is there's some liquidity down here, but it's going to finish crap anyway, I think, isn't it? It's just, I think it's risky. Yeah, hopefully it'll finish naff anyway, so it'll stop me getting out of it. We got burned on that second entry short at 1450 UK. 1450. 1450. Oh, right. Oh, here. Second entry short. Oh, that one there. Second entry short. Yeah, I mentioned that area. I mentioned it and said it's a bit risky because there's a channel there. And I wasn't, at the time, I wasn't sure about that channel, which is why I got rid of it in the end. And now I've seen Mac. So what, yeah, well, Mac's drawn it like we've had a break and another small break. So we've had a break and then 1-2 legs down and then the push up. But yeah, there's a couple of dojis in there, and I've heard Mac mention just beware when you have a couple of dojis, but it's not nice looking price action, is it, for a push up? That's a nice push up followed by a break and another push up. In my opinion, the bar isn't brilliant. I prefer it, but you know, 2 clear legs, that it's just a bit dodgy looking, isn't it? And do you remember how I looked at that and it came down and had a bit of a stem? So I thought I'm going to wait for a lower high. And if you're not sure, sometimes you just wait for the lower high. And normally, if there is a lower high, then that's a better indicator then that we are going down. And what it'll do by waiting for the lower high, it'll keep you out of a trade that you lost. But that's okay. It's a learning process. The only way you learn, you have to lose trades. And next time when we get something like that, something might just jump out in your head and think, ooh, something doesn't feel right. I say that all the time, something doesn't feel right. I can't put my finger on it, but the pattern, the shape of the bars, something doesn't look right. So next time that happens, that might stick in your head then, and you might save yourself. But that's it. It's all part of the learning process. You've got to go through that, otherwise you're never going to learn. So put it down as a good lesson. Value it. Yeah, some big orders at 70, 71. So I am beginning to think that maybe we're going to come down a leg. A couple of legs of correction. I just don't like this. So we've got a leg down, a little break, a new low, then one leg, two legs of correction, and then one leg. I'm hoping another leg which should take us in the area of this. PM trading. Best trade until now was the fourth touch uptrend channel, key entry point, high low after two legs. It's a fourth touch in the uptrend. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that one there. Yeah, I think I looked at that. It's only a first entry though. That's the trouble. Obviously it worked, but there isn't like a failure there at all either. It's just a first entry, and now obviously it depends what strategy you trade. So leg down break. I'm expecting another leg down into this area here. So we're having a leg down, two legs of correction, another leg down. I'd say we're going to get two legs out of that, which may take us near here, funnily enough. There. So certainly down to this area I expect to get to. Leg. No, the next one. Let's have a look. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that one there. That one there. See, that made me nervous. I looked at that because it's below the MA. But like at the end of the day, Mac will probably mark that because he'll say, we've had a bunch of touches, and almost every time it comes back to the key entry point, a bullish bar. But yeah, they make me nervous because sometimes I'll trigger you and have another leg down there and then work up. And the bit that made me nervous is about this bit here. I'm thinking it hasn't gone up as high. This C has gone nearly to the top. That's gone nearly to the top. But that one hasn't. That's what made me a bit nervous. Next one up. That one there. I looked at that one. It was a nice setup. It made me a bit nervous because in this top tier. But it is a second entry long, and the bar's okay. It's not a massive risk. It was a little bit above the EMA for me, and it just made me a bit nervous. But I'll be surprised if Mac doesn't mark that, put it that way. But that's the thing, really. We all see slightly different. Some of us, you risk. Some of us, you risk levels might be a bit different. We all have slight different judgments. You might have a lot of success with maybe something like that, whereas I might have a bit, and we all have that slight different judgment, and that's what makes things a bit tricky sometimes. I know sometimes Mac will mark trades, and I'll think, I'd have never have taken that one. But we all learn at different levels, and some of us might have had. See, I tend to not take much in the way of triple tests. I've not taken a lot of them, so I haven't got the confidence in them. The next uptrend. Oh, this one here. We're going to get there in the end. That one there. Is that one there? Let's have a look. No. Next uptrend channel. Okay, so not this one. So it's got to be this one. So what did you say? Fourth touch, was it? I'll get there in the end. Fourth. 1, 2. Is it this one then? Or that one? One of the two. Was it before that big bar or after? What is going on here? Push down, try to go once, try to go twice, failed. I don't know. Does Mac have a trading group or Discord? No, he doesn't. Does he share his trade thoughts during the session? No, he doesn't, mate. I wish he did, Robin. But no, he's got his YouTube channel and he does his bar by bar. Yeah, see how we get there at the end. He does his bar by bar analysis. He's got a website that you can join. It's only $125 a year, where there's loads of videos on there and all sorts of, all this stuff up here and here, the news. There's all sorts of stuff on it. But it's great value for the money. But no, he doesn't. I wish he did. It doesn't suit some. I mean, a couple of people said to me, I don't know how you manage to trade your chart, talk, and watch Bookmap. But I don't know, my brain works a different way. I'm quite a wired person, so I can have a lot going on in my head. It sort of thrives. But I know Max, he's talked about it before, and he said he'd be concerned that it would affect his trading. And I get that. He's been doing it a certain way for quite a long time, and sometimes when you change things, it has a different reaction. He did join. Yeah, it's good value, it is. It's good value. But yeah, you don't know. I mean, even if he recorded his channel but didn't say anything, maybe that would work. But I bet people would pay $100 a month for that. And I bet quite a lot of people would pay. I mean, you get a few hundred people paying $100 a month, you can make a fortune. But Mac's not short of money. I know he's into his real estate as well, and he makes a lot of money trading. I mean, Mac could scale up and make a massive amount, but I'm guessing he likes his life. He earns plenty of money, and he's got things his own way, and that's what you've got to do, whatever works for you. But not many people do, really. I wish the Penguin guy, I'd pay to watch the Penguin guy as well, because I think he's a very skilled trader. To me, he's got one of these trading brains that he can just work all this stuff out. I can to a degree, but I think he's more advanced than me, way more advanced than me. But I do spot some of the areas where trades he would take that he got stopped. Was it yesterday or the day before yesterday? I said that he'll take that one and he'll get stopped out, and he did. But he's technical trader, in my opinion. He's got a lot of skills there, and I'd pay money to watch him. That's for certain. I got no qualms. If someone's good at something, as far as I'm concerned, they're on my radar. Okay, so this is a break. So leg up, leg up. So I still don't know whether we're going up or down. It's down, up, down. It's very choppy, isn't it? So we've got this channel. I've drawn it and Mac's drawn it, so that tells me I believe it's in the right place, and we've had a break. Pushed up, another couple of legs down, pushed up. So I don't know. Matt traded a live trade and post on YouTube. Yeah, he does now and again. He records them, but without people watching, so he'll just hit record and then take a trade. But I wish he would. He's probably been asked a million times, and he has addressed it before. But he'd only need to say, okay, I'm interested in this trade if it sets up, and that's it, just to give people an idea. Because I know Max talked about he'll drop an order right where he wants it, so he might not prepare an order, so to give you time to work out what he's doing. But either it's very choppy. Yeah, it is. In a channel you'd expect to break in a new high, and it might do, but it's not clear, is it? But if you're managing to stay out of this, you're doing a good job. That's what it's about. We see our trades, we know when to jump in, and we also, just importantly, we need to know when to stay out. And this is one of them, so it might sort itself out. There's plenty of time in the day. Yeah, very choppy. So we touch there, touch there, touch there. I don't think we need these. Sometimes they can do more on than good. So we've had a break. pushed up, another couple of legs back. I'd say from what I'm seeing, it's likely to make a new high. May move up to the top. Is there a... Yeah, see, we may just be moving in this area. Yeah, it's just not clear, is it? Tough day to trade, actually. I'll just leave it there a minute. Yeah, see, we've had another little channel, we've had a break, and then a new high from this, but I still expect one from here. Now, some might not agree this is a channel. Max got it as a channel, but it's a channel that's got a lot of sort of sideways to it, but it's clearly touching, and obviously at the tops as well. So it is a channel, so I would expect a new high, especially when the channel breaks sort of, you know, just below the middle. Trouble is, you've got to go so careful. You might go along here and it may come down because it's not clear. What do you think about second entry long? That in the bottom of this move. That second entry long there. I mean, it's an okay setup. Back to the EMA. Trouble is, I'm not sure what's going on here because it's so choppy. So I wouldn't take it personally. Now, as I mentioned, we have had a channel there. We've had a break from it. So it may be okay, but for me, I'm a little bit unsure of what's going on. But it is a setup, and I'd probably expect it to get back to the EMA. But I've had these before, and it's triggered me and come down some more. I will be wary because of this liquidity down here. It's very strong, so there is a possibility it could trigger, but it did work. But as a second entry itself, it's okay, but I'm just not sure. I'm a bit unsure about what's going on. Are we coming down more? I did start to think that was a leg and a couple of legs of correction and down some more. So, but if you traded it for a point or 2 points back to the EMA, I think that's okay. But as I say, it's very choppy and sideways, so it's one of those trades that I wouldn't be sure I could say that it's going to work, and I like to be pretty confident. You could say that's a hidden second entry long. Trouble is, I'm still a bit unsure what's going on. I'd say from what I can see, it could be a leg and then down. So I don't know. I'm just unsure. If it finishes nice and bullish, I don't think it's a terrible trade, but it's not one I'm interested in. When it's like this choppy, it doesn't make sense. So I don't want to be taking a trade that doesn't make sense. It didn't fathom out anyway. So. Hello, Sam. How you doing, mate? How you doing? Yeah, it is a tough day today, mate. But fortunately, my patience is playing out really well lately, so I don't mind. It's a good exercise in patience. I'm considering it because it looks fake breakout. Yeah, of what though? Yeah, I don't know what anybody else thinks. I mean, there's a second entry. It's clearly worked, but I just don't know. I'm just unsure what's going on at the moment. See, you'd have thought we'd have had a new high from this, but it's looking less and less like it. Okay, we pushed up, couple of legs down, pushed up, maybe another couple of legs down, push up. Sometimes when you have a break from these channels, you get a little push down and then it moves up. But what I'm finding, these breaks are getting further and further before they eventually work up. So, thank you, Sam. Thanks, mate. I hoped it was going to happen at some point, but I just seem to have found some balance from somewhere. I suppose it's going to happen at some point. Long may it last. I managed to get a payment. I've applied for another payment, which I should hear about. Hopefully, well, the next few days. But it's fine. So that's a couple of payments on one account in a month. So that's nice. So it's nice to have something come in, and then what I'll do is I've passed 3 more evaluations. So I think next Wednesday or Thursday I should have 6 PA accounts. And once I get that other payment at the end of the month, I'm going to add a few to it and try and build up to 10. In fact, I was thinking about this the other day. I know quite a lot of people who trade 20 accounts. Now, I'm not sure what I would do with 20 accounts, whether I would split them up and trade 10 one day, 10 the next. The trouble is, if something goes wrong with Ninja Trader and you get stuck in a trade and we have a news event, and do you understand what I'm saying? We get some sort of black swan event, are Apex going to say, well, it was a Ninja Trader problem, it's not our fault, you're going to have to get onto them? I don't know how it works there. Or if we get some sort of, I don't know, if something happens, the black swan event or something going wrong with the software, and I mean, if you're trading everything and something goes wrong, it could wipe everything out. Now, you might have taken 6 months, a year, and a shitload of money to build those up. So I often wonder if you're best off having 10 and 10 and splitting them up different days. So that way you're only ever, have 10 accounts in the game at any one time, just in case something does go wrong. I was going to put that to the Facebook group and hope Daryl Martin might answer that, because if Rhythmic goes wrong, usually they'll step in. But what happens if Ninja Trader goes wrong? If you're doing 2 contracts on 20 accounts and you're stuck in a trade maybe half an hour before a news event and we have a massive spike of 30 points, theoretically that could completely, I don't understand who's responsible, or whether Ninja Trader cover that, or I don't know how it works. You just don't know, see. So it's a question I'd like answered, but I certainly feel nervous about trading all 20 accounts together. I mean, it might not be a problem, but if something does go wrong, I'd rather only have 10 wiped out. At least I'm still earning, rather than the lot wiped out. Okay, so this is so choppy today. You'd expect a new high after this. And same with that little channel there, 2 legs down, you expect a new high. Now, we did that time, but we might not have done. So when you asked about that trade there, I'd say you're probably safe taking it back to the EMA, but you don't know whether we're going to come down from there. I didn't expect that to happen. I'm just wondering what that looks like on a bigger time frame. Is that like a leg down with 2 legs of correction? I don't know. But it does seem like fact it's hit that liquidity level. So let's just drag that out of the way. Let me just draw another range here, because for me this is look just like it's ranging in this area. Let's get rid of that. Okay, touch. Now, possible second entry long there from that little bar. Oh, I don't know. 67, 68, there's still some liquidity. I don't know there. You could call this a breakout. We may have the same this side. Yeah, it's quite hard to read today, isn't it? I'd say this is going to break out the bottom to there, personally. We've got a leg down, 2 legs of correction. And another, I might be wrong because there might be a leg to there and another leg. It might stop there, but yeah, I think it's going to. But there is a shed load of liquidity down here. That might be good back to the EMA, but I'm not taking it. $69 to $70. Yeah, there's still a lot of liquidity below here. That's telling me if it does push down, there may be some buyers that come in. Chris, is the Apex business model that even if you trade a PA account, you are never trading live? So when they make a payout, it's from the fees. Okay, I'll tell you that works. For the first 3 months, it will be a demo account, but it's a demo account when you get paid. And I believe after 3 months, you go on to a live account. So whether you go onto a live account or they copy your trades live, I'm not sure, but it's definitely a demo account for, I believe, at least the first 3 months, because usually if you've got an account for longer than 3 months, they can have a quick look at it and they'll know if you can trade. You won't last 3 months otherwise, especially if you're taking some payments. So if someone can go for 3 months, I think that's a pretty good indicator that, you know, I mean, they might look at you and still think you're a bit erratic and they may, you know, keep you on a demo. I suppose it depends how much money they're paying out. If you've got $200,000, $300,000 accounts and you're withdrawing $2,000 twice a month off each of them, that it might be on an individual case. That I'm not sure, but I know for the first 3 months, it's a demo. Okay, I did think that was going to break out, and that made a perfect measured move. We've had a breakout of this, like a failed breakout and a leg down, and then 2 legs of correction and another leg down. So that I was confident of, but I did look at that, but it's just way too far for me. So this may be a leg and a leg. So I think we're going to go quite a bit lower. Or certainly to this bottom, rather. Hopefully, if we can get a break before we hit this bottom, we may get a because that's a really nice channel, that is. I like this size channel, I do, because when we get a break from it and it's a decent second entry short before we hit that measured leg, we should keep going down. Hopefully, we may break out of it. Let me have a look. Okay, so some at 63, 62, very strong at 60. So I'd expect this with a break to get down to here. So if we can get a couple of legs back up, maybe retest this, touch EMA at the same time, perfect. But you have to keep in mind as well, if this is a range, it could break out and push back in. So as you go short, it might trigger you and push back in. Now, I don't think it's going to, because although it's sideways, it's just as much a channel. It's just, there's channels obviously within there, so it's not what I would call the best looking range there, but I think you just got to keep that in mind anyway, and only take a really good setting and maybe take the lower high. So we'll see. Wow, I'm having a terrible day. Busted a PA and an 8. Oh, I know the feeling, mate. Took a while to realise how badly I was tilting. Yeah, mate, it's almost like someone... What I will say to you is I have blown about 165 evaluations. You're going to blow evaluations. You're going to, because that's... You're doing... It's a normal human way to react. You want your money back, so you do stupid things to get it. But what I say is keep trying, keep moving forward. And sooner or later, your mind and your psychology will get used to it. It won't seem such a bad thing after all. And you'll start to get fed up and sick of failing. And then I believe things just start to change. That's how it's working with me. Things have just started to feel differently. You get that sick and tired of losing that something just changes and you stop doing it. But it is hard, and I've spoken to a mate of mine, Marlon, about this, and he said it's almost like someone just takes over. And, you know, after the fact, you sit back and think, what the hell happened? It wasn't planned, you know, but don't beat yourself up. What you're doing is a normal human response to panic when you lose money. Yeah, see what I mean about this? It may come down, but it may also push back in. But yeah, don't beat yourself up, mate. You're probably going to feel a bit lousy because it's a, you know, it is what it is, isn't it? But it will go. Just keep plodding on, keep learning, keep better. Not only that, you'll fail less trades. As your skill level starts improving, you'll naturally take better quality trades anyway. But you've got to be in that driving seat again and again for it to start to feel normal. You know, at the moment, it doesn't. But once you've been doing it day after day after day, it's like anything. With time comes skill, and with skill comes belief and confidence. And once you start getting that belief and confidence, you won't feel the need to try and get a bit lucky or to try and get it back. You'll know you'll have the skills to be able to do it. Yeah, I'm pretty sick screwing things up. It's horrible. That was a 7th PA. How many have I busted? 19 of them. The ones I'm on now are 20... 23 and 24, but yeah, I broke 19, about 20 of my blown, and about 165 evaluations. So take it from me, just because you're blowing them, it's all part of it. Okay, so you got to be careful here, because this could be retesting this line here. That's what I mentioned here. Nice. I'm thinking about short, playing this measured leg out, but it may push back in. You may be thinking long there, see? And then what happened? Came back in, so you got to be so careful. Yeah, you'll just keep getting better and better and then keep improving. It's a fact. You can't not get better. Okay, leg up, push back, maybe we get a lower high. You could call that a second entry short with that there, but I don't like it. It's not clear. And it could trap you. Yeah, I think we're coming down, I do. That is where, yeah, oh mate, I can't tell you how many weekends I've gone in there feeling physically sick. It's horrible. Fortunately for me, 2 to 3 days, and I can get it out of my system, as miserable and as depressed as I can feel, I can get it out of my system, and I come back with a new, you know, I feel invigorated, ready to come back and ready for the chase again. So yeah, just try and keep it in mind. What you're doing is perfectly normal. You're not any different than any other person learning to trade. Everybody does it. You're not born a trader. You're not born with that mindset. You have to work it and mould it. It takes time. So yeah, don't beat yourself up, mate. Okay, possible second entry shorty. I don't know whether I like this or not. See how bearish it looks. But the trouble is, it's bouncing on that line, and it could trap some shorts there, and then go long. We've got a leg up. Could have another leg up, but it's not going to turn out right, I don't think, anyway. So I'm kind of glad. Yeah, it's just too risky, that. But yeah, don't worry about it, mate. Does Apex show you how many evals and PAs you've blown? Just count them. On your numbers, you'll have an Apex, then you'll have a four-digit number, and then you'll have another number, like mine, 176, 177. The PAs I'm on now are 175, 176, and 177. So it's the last 3 numbers of your Apex number. That tells you how many you've blown. And the same with the PA account. The last 2 numbers, or 1 number, depending on how many you've blown. And that'll tell you how many you've blown, or how many you've taken. It starts off for 1. consecutively. Absolutely, yeah. Not the first three, not the first four numbers. That's your, I'm assuming, your own personal thing. But it's the last three. Well, it's the last three if you've blown 175 like mine. It might be the last two. If it's the last one, you're doing well. Yeah, it's the last three, hopefully. If you're saying it's the last four, then I'd say you may have some issues. Okay, so there is a second entry short there, but I'm not a fan of that, to be honest with you. I don't like the way it's closed, and I think that's going to catch some people out. It may come down. I still expect it to come down, but it's just a bit... It's a bit congested. You can clearly see it's a bit sideways. And that can catch you out there. Just leave them alone. Don't touch them. Wait for a proper setup and you won't go wrong. Yeah, see, that's a naff bar anyway. So we've had this channel. We've made one attempt to go higher, two attempts to go higher. I'm just wondering whether the pound me guy will take that. You may get away with it by that failure. Trouble is, that can be risky. Right, okay. I'd say that's likely to work, but I don't like it. It is a failure. We've had a push up, try go once, try go twice, failed. I've been stopped out of them so many times. So I leave them now. It just doesn't fill me with confidence. I'd say it's probably going to work, but the way that's triggered and pushed up there, I'd have had to change my underwear, and I hate that feeling. I'd rather stay away from a trade than get that horrible feeling. Because on a day like today when it's choppy, I wouldn't be shocked if that got stopped out. It looks like a nice trade in the grand scheme of things, but I think it'll probably work, but I'm not having any of it. I've seen this happen before. It is choppy at the moment. It's just a little break out the bottom. I think it'll work, but it's not pushing down confident. I can't see. I think it's going to push quickly in a minute. I'm so tempted to take a limit order there. Oh dear, no. Something doesn't feel right. I think it'll push down strongly in a minute. That's something I don't like about it. And that feeling. In fact, I'd say 8 out of 10 that's going to come down, and quite strongly. But I'm just staying out. Yeah, I thought it might do. That'll come down here. I very nearly just jumped in there when that finished, but perhaps it's me being a little bit too cautious, but I think that'll be okay. I think that'll continue down. Let's have a look. Liquidity 65. Yeah, so I think it'll come down to that liquidity level at 65, which is here, which funnily enough is there. I did consider a limit order there, but if I don't feel a trade, I'd rather stay out of it and not, risk not making it rather than get stuffed. But it's still a little, it's at the bottom, but it's just still a little bit risky for me. No, I think you'd have made 2 points out of it, but I don't know. I am thinking this is coming down, but it is a bit choppy, so it just makes that little bit extra risk. So let's have a look. Okay, you wouldn't have got 2 points out. In fact, I've actually touched it right at the bottom, so that probably needs to come down a tick maybe there. So you'd have got a 1.75. I still think it's coming down. I'd say at least here. I have thought about it coming in as a limit order, but I'm staying out. See, once it gets below there, I dare say, because of this sideways, there'll be maybe a few people buying that. So there's probably going to be some stops. So once it pushes through there, I think that'll get us close to there. Let me just check there's nothing bigger going on here. Let's have a look. Could be something like that. I don't know. I think it'll still work. But I don't know, something about it that's making me nervous, and I tend to listen to that voice, and it does me well. Now, if it bounces here and comes bearish, then I'd say yeah. And what you could do there, if you like the trade, is maybe jump in here and then put it like 3/4 of a point above there, but just something doesn't feel right to me. The day is so choppy, and bearing in mind, we've had this sideways, so it could come out, push back in, come out again, maybe trap a few shorts and then push back in. Because there's going to be some shorts there, and definitely some shorts there, and it may just rack up straight through them and push back in there, because most of the time when it breaks out of these, as we know with that one, and we've seen it many times before, they push back in. But if that finishes bearish, then I'd say I expect it to come down. Okay, I'm tempted to take that. But it's quite a big ass bar. It's really bearish, actually. In fact, you know what? I'm going to go to one contract and take that. Let's have a look. Just go down to one contract. I'm not risking any more than that. Trigger me. Come on. Trigger me. Trigger me. Trigger me.
Order submitted.
Okay. I'm prepared to risk one contract and that's it. I'm going to get out here. I like it now. It's a nice bearish bar. We've pushed up multiple times. And that's all I'm prepared to give it. 765. Let's just go for 2 points. It's a big bearish bar. But I'm only risking it on one contract. I ain't doing anything else. If it pushes down strongly, I may move my stop down, my profit down a bit, but in fact, let's go for 2.5 points. I think it's worthy of it. It's a 3.5 point risk. It's quite a lot, actually, in all the grand scheme of things, which is why I'm just taking it for a contract. We've clearly had a channel. We've tried to push up multiple times, and that is the bearish, most bearish looking bar of them all. And if it manages to get below there, then I think it'll push down really quickly. In fact, I'm going to move this down here, and I'm just going to follow it down. That's if it doesn't stop me out. But I think it's worth it with that bar. In fact, I'm going to give that one extra tick. Just the one. That's a shame, really. I actually like the bar. We've tried a few times. We haven't made a low. We've tried to come up again. We'll see. And not only that, I've put my stop one tick above that failure as well. So that's just given me that little possible bit of extra protection. We'll see. It'll either work or it won't. I don't mind risking it on the point, but I'm not risking it on more than that. To be honest with you, on one of my counts, I've got to make this day count as a trade to be able to withdraw anyway. So I was planning on taking something today. Now it might just smash up through it, but who knows.
Order filled.
Okay, so that's took us out. So that's not terrible. Let's make sure we're out of this. I don't mind that. I like the bar, actually. I thought if that lot didn't work, that one surely rack it down. So that's fine. Where are we? Yeah, okay. 1.75, is that right? That's strange. An extra, less a tick. I don't know. Okay, that might continue to come down now. Let's have a look. That is a second entry short, possibly. Yeah, that's the trouble on these shoppy days sometimes, but I really like that bar, actually. It tried a bunch of times, and we did push down, and I thought, really, we're still working down, and I thought at some point it's just going to drop, because I did expect this measured move. What are those numbers right of the candle? Oh, those there. Those first three, that one there is the actual ticks in that current bar. That one there is just a countdown from the 2000 ticks, which is 2000 trades. And that one is the previous ticks in the previous bar. So, well, I don't mind. I don't mind. I had to do a trade today to count this day for day 10 to take another payment out. So it is what it is. I don't mind. It's not a massive loss. I went down to one contract. But it was quite a big bar. But after this push down, push back up, lower, lower, push down still, push up, really bearish bar, finished on its low. I thought that was just going to rocket down, in all fairness, when it got below these, but it didn't work. Sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes it's worth a go if you deem it. But I didn't think it was a bad bar, actually. But you just don't know sometimes. It's a choppy day, but I'm thinking we're moving down, and I'm thinking this level here, massive liquidity here. I thought we're coming down, but there you go. I don't mind. It's a relatively small loss. I've passed the free evaluations. I haven't traded them. I just traded them with a micro, so I've just lost 191 in each PA account. That's fine. There's no problem with there. Okay, so there's a second entry short there, which is triggered, and there's a failure, but I'm not getting in here. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's not worth trading on these days, but with that one, I didn't mind going down to one contract. That's okay. So that was, how many points did I lose there? I give it an extra tip because I put it above there because I thought that may make the difference. Look, it's probably coming down anyway, but and we sort of pushed out of this sideways, so I didn't think it looked that bad. It wasn't mega congested, but because of the choppy day, it's one of those things. 167, so that's 2.253 3.75. Yeah, okay, that's quite a big risk really, but I gave it an extra tick and it was quite a big bar, but I don't mind, which is why I went down to one contract. So minus, let's have a look. So minus 3.75 points. That's fine. It is a really tough day today. As I say, it's hard to know what's going on. But after that leg down, there was a second entry there, then a failure, and that came down a bit. And I thought maybe it was going to retest this, and it pushed in right up to the midline, dropped down, finished on its low. I thought that was going to go one leg down, two legs. I'm expecting here, I thought that was going to give me like four points, which is why I thought I'll have a go at it. But it was a big bar anyway, which is why I went down to a tick. Yeah, I didn't want to just risk like 400, well, whatever it was, nearly 400 on it. I needed to have a trade today to count as day 10 so I can make a withdrawal out of one of my PA accounts. So I had to do something today, really. I didn't want to miss it, but there we go. So I'd still say it's coming down, but that's the trouble with days like this. See, there's just traps galore, but I thought that wasn't too bad at all, actually. But I'll be surprised if there's not a few people caught in there. Yeah, when you look at it like that, now it's gone up and come down. No, let's leave it like that. Yeah, see, now I've redrawn that a bit. In fact, I probably should have been aware of that. Touch, 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 and then I went short. So, see, you're forever. I don't mind learning these. So, new point to self. Make sure I look left and check this range isn't slightly bigger. But yeah, look at that. Touch. Well, touch there, touch, 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 touch. So maybe this is the bottom. Maybe we're out at the bottom. So I've taken that. It's going to tick off and push it up to the top. So, you know, I don't mind learning lessons like that, because the only way you get better at it is to fail, you know, with the failures. But yeah, that makes perfect sense. Now it's pushed out now, so I still think this liquidity is going to hit in this measured leg. Yeah, it's a very choppy day. See, I reckon some will mark that failure. Now a lot scalp a point there, and that failure would have made a point. Yeah, clearly. You wouldn't have got 2 points out of it. So I left it, and then we had this, another push back up, pushed in, dropped down. I thought that was the way down. Leg, and another leg. I thought we were coming past here, but there we go. We are, I think, but obviously that wasn't to be. And that's probably why, because we got multiple touches here, and that was probably the bottom. But that's not too bad. I don't mind. That's the first loss of the week. So that's not too bad. It's been quite a quiet week. I had a couple of days without a trade. It's been quite a hard, choppy week, actually, to trade. But if you can deal with days like this, you'll be all right. Strong liquidity at 260 as well. So I do expect that to continue down. I don't think there's a bigger channel there. Hold on a second. Oh, dear, what's this? Maybe by the end of the day, that may look a little bit better. It's too early to put it in, but by the end of the day, I wouldn't be shocked. We got leg down, a couple of legs up. I still think there's some downwards movement there. So maybe that by the end of the day. Yeah, it's very choppy today. Loads of chop. Strong liquidity at 65.66, which is around about here. 1, 2, 3. If we can get something bearish up here. 1, 2, 3, triple test. I'm just going to change something. I'm going to trade that one. I'm not going to trade the one account. Which one is that? 23. So let's trade 23 and leave 20 alone. 24, leave that one alone. Good. Okay, short-term trend channel break. If we can get something really bearish here, you can class that as push down. 1, 2 as a triple test. Let me see if there's some liquidity levels. Not masses. We get an order ready just in case
Order
we get
submitted.
a quick drop. There's some at 74.5, but it hasn't got that high. There's some at 70. No. Leg. That's slightly below there. That's slightly above there. Okay. Selling at 74.5. One more tick. Sally, how you doing? After 45, it will start its journey towards 41. 45. 4525. Ooh, interesting. That's you could call that a triple test, couldn't you? Yeah, I'm just not a fan of it.
Order cancelled.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to trap some shorts. Yeah, it's frustrating. I mean, you could have said that was a triple test. The trouble is, because it's so choppy, it's not operating, you know, like it normally would. It just makes it extra risky. See, there's big liquidity levels down here, and you'd expect to meet them, but It's just clearly out of sync at the moment. It's just sideways, up, down, all sorts of places at the moment. And Q also starting to move towards... Is that up or down, bud, is it? Is that up or down? Yeah, let me just... I put that back, didn't I? Let me just have a look at that. See how that finishes. Leg, sideways leg. From the top, if it crosses, then there will be an excellent up move. And about from here, so you think it's going to move up, do you? I'm just going to get rid of that. It's confusing things. Get rid of that for the time being. Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. So let's have a look. Liquidity 80. There's some up here. Where else? And 85. So yeah. Go low once. Come down and retest this top. Mm. 440.80. Yeah, there is a lot of liquidity up there, isn't there? And 85. I was hoping we get a couple of legs down here and then a push up. No, it's not been a good day at all, Sam, has it? No. No, it's going to be one of them days, I think. It's fine. It happens sometimes. You've just got to move on. It happens sometimes. Yeah, I should have noticed that, actually. Touch. That could have been the bottom. I had the bottom of that a little bit higher at the time. But after that hit and we came up, I should have kept that in mind. But like I say, I don't mind when things go wrong because you notice things like that. Interesting. Good night, everyone. Yeah, you too, Rodian. Have a great weekend, mate. And I'll see you back here on Monday. Okay, really bearish bar. I'm just wondering whether that's going to trap some shorts. Ooh. Oh, of course, yeah. No trading Monday. Sorry, isn't it Junty? Is that what you call it? Yeah, no trading Monday. Yeah, so Tuesday. There might be half a day, but after the last half a day, I was devastating. So I'm not doing those days anymore. So it'll be Tuesday. Yeah. Okay, interesting. So we've had a breakout, and we've come back and retouched the top of that line. So interesting. No. No, it's like watching bloody paint dry, isn't it? Watching paint dry. It's just clearly choppy. It's hard to read. Today changes are high. That it may complete its pending target of 45.25. Really? Right up there. Up here. The last 1.5 hours, yeah, you think it just could rocket up? Yeah, I know what you mean, mate. There is a higher low there. Kind of like that.
Order filled.
4.5, 5.5, 6.5. Small channel break. Higher low triggered. Second entry long. It is starting to look like we're going higher. I'm just wondering, there's maybe some stops there. 2 points, just go for 2 points. It's a 2.25 risk, 2 points, so it's nearly 1 to 1. Push up looks like a spiking channel. Second entry long, higher low. Expect to make a new high. 1 tick above that big bearish bar. Just trading one contract again because it's so choppy. There's a big lump of liquidity here. Yeah, same here. Oh, you're kidding. Oh, bad luck. Bad luck. I'm going to give that one extra tick. Saved me the other day. Okay, new low. Try go once.
Stop fill.
Crikey. Oh, well. I didn't expect that. Okay, so down 300. Well, 320. Okay, so yeah, it's clearly one of those days today. I've had my 2 losses. It clearly ate up the stops there, didn't it? What was that? 185, 285. What was I down? 185. Was it 190, 290? Okay, so not a massive risk there. 2 points. So okay, it is what it is. Goodbye for now. Have a great weekend. Yeah, you too, bud. 1 leg down, 2 legs out. Yeah, it's clearly choppy. I've had enough today anyway. So it's not a major issue. $320 down. That's fine. I don't mind that. It was a slightly risky trade anyway. But I'm just seeing that strong liquidity level. I'm not seeing much down here, really. We've had that level. We've tried to push down low so many times. Had a strong push up. To me, it looked like it was going up. It was a second entry long and a high low off the key entry point. Nice and bearish, nice and bullish. Sorry, but it's that choppy. It just seems like full of stops today. This is why I ate Fridays. Yeah, so I'm just going to knock it on the head now. So that's all right. I can deal with down $320. It's not the end of the world. And it was one contract. In fact, that's probably an idea to go down to one contract when you trade sort of choppy days like this. Might make sense. So at least, yeah, I went down 2 lots. So yeah, that's fine. Okay, so I'm going to knock it on the head there. That's not too bad. If that's the worst day, I can deal with that. So I'm going to finish now, and I'm going to go and sit in the garden and have a beer. So yeah, it's Tuesday, so it's Junty on Monday. I'm not sure what that is exactly, but I know you got a holiday there. So I'll be back on Tuesday morning. So have a great long weekend, everybody. Stay safe, and I will chat to you all, and we'll do it all again this time on Tuesday. Bye for now.